incomplete to open things up.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Hey, Alabama. 55, 955. Hey, let go.
Throwing on second and long. Brady gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Throwing is Brady on third down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Trying to defend the out route there, got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 46.
I can't believe they even let you play. 49, check 43.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line.
Nice stopping behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. This is one thing you can't do with Tom Brady. Let him get in a rhythm, let him get rolling early.
Every time you talk about Tom Brady or any other great quarterback, you always talk to the defensive guys and they say, you got to get him off his spot. What they mean by that is when you go back 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drop, and they just hit the same spot and then they're set up to throw the ball, get them to move a little bit, get them to hold the ball. And the pressure that affects just about any quarterback, right up the middle. Remember the Super Bowl? Atlanta's best success came up the middle pressure, what we call gut pressure.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Wait, that 53! Hey, pick your game up! Check it!
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. He completes it to Wilson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Sanders' kick is good. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, It's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Carr going to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
What now? Ready? You got 4. Hey, 7:34.
On 3rd down, Swift. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
On play action, it's Carr. Hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he'll be marked down deep on Miami's side of the field. A big play that time for the Raiders. 46 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. So that'll back him up 5.
29.
Now a give right side. Swift, and he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Monday down. 180. White Monday down.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Looking for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So the penalty now moves it up. It's 2nd and 10.
Hey, high 7.
Shotgun now for Carr. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Let's go. He's coming.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Brady. And this is Parker, complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. It's a first down on a gain of 10. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Here's Brady to throw. It's complete. It's Miller. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Right, didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing on 2nd down. Brady got an open man. It's Foster. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Wait, set, wide, 80. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Green 80, head. Regular.
On 3rd down, Brady. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go, boys.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it? And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
You got nothing today.
They'll run on 1st down. Hunt. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Hey, switch gears, switch gears. Big ass, big ass, big ass. 53 Linda! 53 Linda!
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Brady. They're able to locate Wilson. And down inside the 15 he goes. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
First foray into the red zone for Miami. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. On the delay, here's Hunt. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Alabama, 380.
Number 53, Mike 53. Watch the slant.
Wait for the head.
53 is the mark.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
2nd and goal at the 8-yard line.
It's 2nd and goal back to the 8-yard line now.
You're not ready. Rip. 55. Wait for the hit. 55. Hey, 66.
Lamar Miller. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
53, Mike. Rabbit.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike 53. Watch the car.
Alert.
From the gun, it's Brady. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. From 3 yards out, and the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half, 10-0 our score.
Let's go.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Hey, 734. Check.
Throwing again. Carr. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Swift. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, we're good, we're good. You ready? That's it. That's it.
To throw, it's Carr. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
A gain of 7. First down, Raiders.
Down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Carr. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Hey, exit.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Got his man, it's Williams. The Dolphins going to take timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Hopkins' kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Wait, set. Wait, eat. Hey, check it. Check it, reload.
Now this time, Brady will throw. And he completes it to Hunt. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw is Brady. He rifles one that's intercepted. picked by Trayvon Mullen.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely, and from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To throw his Carr. Got him in. It's Brown. Now a timeout signaled for him. They'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd?
93.
From the gun, it's Carr. He gets it to Brown, complete. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Let's go.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Raiders.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 11 yards there, first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now they'll throw with Carr. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All day, defense, all day.
You're mine. Bravo.
And the blitz does come. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 43.
First down, Raiders.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
I love football lingo and the evolution of it all. Nickel defense makes sense, right? Five defensive backs. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
Yeah, we saw that advantage right there. Into the red zone, it's Carr. Now they go screen, it's complete. And he'll be out of bounds. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
Check 15, check 15.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. Finding room at the 30. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Now it's Hunt. Spins away. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A little bit of space there for the 1st down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, check. Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 50.
Now Brady, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
That's what I do.
On the run, this is Hunt. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw with Brady. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller, and it's 3rd down. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
Shadow! Mike 55! Mike 55! Focus, defense, focus!
Mike 55. Hey! Wahoo!
Working from the gun, it's Brady. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 28.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now Brady. Caught by Wilson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Miller. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Brady. Toward the pylon, caught. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards him. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
7:34.
To throw again. Carr. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now Carr, and the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick. But let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
23 yards on the play. Brady now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Here's Hunt. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Brady's throw there complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Hunt. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Give them a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
The throw on second down by Brady is incomplete. The Dolphins on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
56, the mark, boys, 56.
To throw, it's Brady. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now a play fake. Carr. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings them up 2nd and 10. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. They were trying to go to Brown once again, and it'll bring up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd and long. Carr. Open man, Taylor Gabriel.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. On play action, it's Carr. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
A boost here to start the drive after the penalty. It's 1st and 5. They'll run. This is Hunt. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So second down, and this defense certainly going to sell out to stop the run. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches.
Wait, that, ready? 53 is the mark. You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And Hunt is not going to get there. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I know you feel.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. Here's Matt Hawk now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. With it is Brown. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. They're all through up in Detroit. And the Falcons, they wind up winning that one. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. That one good for 37 yards. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 yards there, 1st down. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Down. 180. Hey, we're good. 180. We're good.
Carr to throw again. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. But now it's 3rd and goal. 2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. One final try now for Carr. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And that will write a finish to this ball game. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last point?